everybody. It's Michelle and I'm playing around with a punch art project today, and for spring and summer I just really wanted to do some punch art bees. I just love these little guys. I think they're so cute and I had so much fun, and I'm going to put one more together today to show you guys how I did it. Okay, so I'm going to move these up out of the way a little bit while I work on another one for you guys. So you can see here we've got one bigger bee. This one's kind of a medium size, and then we've got 3 small bees, and I'll go over all of those with you. You guys might remember my leaf die set. It came with 3 different shapes. There are 4 sizes of this one here, 2 of this shape, and 3 of this shape. I only used these 2 shapes today. The smallest one here, I like that for a bee because it comes to a point, so that makes a really good stinger, and it kind of points downward so that you can sort of make him be pointing his stinger in a different direction depending on how you turn that. So I used this for the body and the wings of the small bees. I used it for the wings on the medium-sized bee here. And for his body, I used this die here, the smaller of that rounded leaf shape. That was used for the wings on my larger bee. And the next size up of this kind of pointed shape was his body. And that's the one that we're going to be doing today, with the large body with that pointed leaf shape. I've got another one of those in black here, and the rounded leaf shape here I cut out in vellum, and that's going to be his wings. And you guys might recognize this die here from my recent video for In Love Art Shop. And this had so many little swirls and scrolls and little shapes like that. I decided to use some of those pieces for the antenna on the bees. So you can see on this one here how his go like that. That was from this area here in the die. The larger bee, I used some of the larger loops here, and the smaller ones for the antenna on the smaller bees. And you can see on some of the bees I've got both of the antenna going off in the same way as if they're flying. This one has them going in different directions as if he's looking straight on toward you. I also only gave this one one eye so that we're kind of seeing him from the side and just see one side of his face. And I just tried to mix it up a little bit and give them some character, each one being unique and individual. I also mixed up a little bit of how I did their wings. On a couple of them here, I just coated the vellum with the Nouveau shimmer pen, and then on some I just went around just the very edge with some Stickles in the color Diamond, and I think that's what I'm going to do on my example one here today. I really like the look of the Stickles. And with the ones that I did the shimmer pen on, it was kind of wet and it kind of tried to curl the vellum. So after that dried, I heated it with my heat tool a little bit and then turned my heavy punches upside down like this and laid them on there to flatten it back out so that those didn't curl. They're still curling up a little bit, but that's okay. That'll give a little bit of dimension on a card or tag or whatever you use these on. And you can also see how I took some of these and turned them like this so that the stinger is pointing down, and some I just flipped over to the back side like that so that the stinger points down also, but it's facing the other direction. And then I also kept it with that regular side to the front and just spun it around like this and the stinger goes upward, and you can see that on this one here. So however you decide to do yours, whichever way you want to turn it, I like to turn them all different ways, so I've got lots of different little characteristics going on with my group of bees. So I've got a couple of the flourishes here from my little inlay die here, and I'm going to use the more narrow little loop. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those off. So for the heads on the bees, I used a circle punch, and I used my Confetti dots punch with all the different sizes. And the ones I used for the smaller bee is about 5/8 of an inch, and the one for my larger bees is about 3/4 of an inch. So if you have your Confetti dots, you can just use whichever of these that you think fits your bee properly. Or if you have just individual circle punches, you'll need a 5/8 and a 3/4. Okay, so I'm going to start with the body of my bee here, and I'm going to bring in my larger circle, and this is 1 3/4 inches. And with that, I'm going to take my other die cut that I have of the same shape that's in black, and I'm going to use the rounded edge of my circle punch to just cut off little pieces and make my stripes. So first of all, I'm going to cut off just the little tip there, and that's going to be the black on our stinger. And then I want to do this again and take a little strip there that is a stripe that I'm just going to do away with and just discard that, because that's going to be the little section that's going to be a yellow stripe. And now put it back into my punch. And this gives us curved stripes with the exact outline of the leaf and the curvature from the circle punch. That way it looks like it's a rounded body on the bee. And I'm going to need my tweezers to help me hold this as it gets smaller. So now we're clipping away a yellow section again, and just let that fly away, and then cut another one here for a black stripe, and that's all we're going to need. You can put as many stripes as you like, but I think 3 is pretty good, because we really end up with like 2 stripes and then the black of the stinger. And I think that works pretty good. And it doesn't have to be necessary exactly 1 3/4 inches of a circle, just something that's wider than the widest part of your bee's body, so that you know you can get the whole thing when you're cutting out your little rounded slices like that. And I did the same thing on my small bees, but I just used a 1-inch circle. Okay, so now I'm going to get my art glitter glue and my jewel picker, and I'm going to pick that up. Put a little bit of art glitter glue underneath, and then I can line that right back up onto the body of the bee on the yellow section, and glue that right in place, and just do that with each stripe. As a matter of fact, I think instead of the jewel picker, I'm going to use my tweezers. That way I can flip it over and apply the glue to the stripe rather than the yellow part of the body. And see where we had this black shape cut out in the full leaf shape to begin with? That makes it line up perfectly on our edges, and we get the perfect little stripes on our bees. If you don't want to do this, you could just color in some black stripes with a marker, but I really wanted the dimension of the die cut pieces. So it's up to you, however you want to do yours. And there is the body of our bee. I think it's looking cute already. And now for our head. And you can kind of position this any way you want it, depending on how you want your bee to look, which way you want it to look like it's flying, which way you want it to look like its head is turned. However you want it, just place the circle on there any way you want. And again, if they're placed a little differently on every one, I think that's all the better, because then you get a lot more character and some differentiation in your bees. I think I'm going to cut a little bit more off of those little antennae. And if you guys don't have this exact die that I had from In Love Art Shop, just look for any little negative pieces like that that come out of any dies that you may have with little flourish designs and scrolls and swirls like that in it. You could even use a little curling vine part of some greenery, something like that. So just hold that on there a second. And I'm putting my glue on the front of the bottom section of my swirl there, and then just stick it to that from behind. I told you guys that I used the rounded leaf shape for the wings on my larger bees, and that does have a little stem on it, so I'm just going to take my scissors and just trim that little stem off, because I want that to be the upper part of my wing, like that right there. And I have really found that the glue doesn't show through too bad if you just use it very sparingly. I'm just going to put a small dot right there, and I'm putting it on the yellow section, which is a lighter color, and that'll help hide it a little bit too. But the art glitter glue does dry clear. So I'm just going to hold that down for a second and let that glue attach. And then on the other one, it doesn't really matter. The bottom part is going to be hidden behind the body of the bee. So you can go ahead and put plenty on that one. And there is our bee. And on this one, I'm going to do the stickles on the wings. And you just want to make sure that all of your stickles are tapped down to the tip of your applicator there. And on the wing that's in the back, I really just want to get the part that's going to show from around the other one. And I'm just going around the border, right outside of that little line of stitching in the die cut. And then, of course, the entire wing on the front one, because it all shows. Go around the whole perimeter of it. And of course you could glitter the whole wing like I did on a couple of these, but you may need to do that ahead of time and be able to put something flat on top of that so that it can go back into shape. So now for the last touch, Googly Eyes. And again, I've given them all a little bit of different characters, some set far apart, some that have their eyes close together. And I'm just going to put a couple of dots of glue where I want his eyes to be. And then just put my little googly eyes onto there. And press them down. And if you get excess glue gushing out the sides, you can come in with your little die release tool with the sharp point on that and just clean up that edge. And that is it. There are your punch art bees, and I think they are absolutely adorable. I just want to do an entire colony of bees. I think these are adorable little bees to embellish your scrapbook pages, cards, tags, just about anything you want to put them on. I had a lot of fun with them. So you guys leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Give me a like over on my Facebook page. And be sure to join our Facebook group, Crafty Minds. Also follow me on Pinterest and Instagram. And don't forget to visit my blog. I'll have the links to everything in the description below, so be sure and check them out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.